Hey everyone, this is Brian from Motive Training. Today we're going to be talking about hip hinging. I'm going to make this as short as possible because this is a conversation that could go on forever. The reason being, a hip hinge and a squat are very similar, and sometimes people are saying that squats are hip hinges and hip hinges are squats, or deadlifts are squats and squats are deadlifts. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you can dissociate your body when you need it and that you have control over your joints, and those tend to be mutually beneficial. So if you have control of your joints and you know where they're moving in space, that means there's a greater chance that you understand how to, let's say, use your forearm versus using your whole arm to move, right? So being able to dissociate limbs as you go through your body is super important from a body awareness and control standpoint, and that's important for something like a deadlift, which quite frankly might be one of the higher risk movements that people can do that they tend to butcher. So a deadlift and a hip hinge are very similar, and we'll show you what that is. So a hip hinge from the side, all it is you are trying to not use your knees or your spine to move your hips back to forward. So it should look like this. You can do whatever you want with your hands, it does not matter. Miyagi, hips go back as far as they can, hips go forward. Notice I didn't bend my knees that much, my spine didn't move, I did not round. Okay, that is what's important. So the two issues that people run into is that they bend their knees a lot and then they also round their spine a lot. So what do? Well, if you're a knee bender, you can put something like a foam roller in front of the foot so you know, hey, I'm going to push my hips back. But if all I do is I hit this with my knee, that means I'm bending my knee. What does that look like? It looks like a squat. You're starting to use your knees and your hips together. We're trying to just use our hips. So putting something in front of your foot to block off the actual knee could be beneficial for you if all you want to do is use your quads. Okay? Again, hips go back, hips go forward. Notice how my knees didn't move all that much. A soft bend in the knee is all you need. You don't need to have them super bent or completely locked out. Somewhere in the middle is just fine. Secondly, you can do a dowel or a broomstick hip hinge. So this will keep your spine from moving. You'll set this on your tailbone, you'll set it on your upper back and on your head. And from here, you will shift your weight back, shift your weight forward. It's very difficult to move your spine when it's in line with this dowel. You can extend it a little bit so you could puff your chest forward, but you really have a tough time moving it around when it's in line with this rod. Okay, so if you need to combine both, you could put the foam roller right in front of your foot and do this together. And this is what a hip hinge looks like. If you can do that, that means that you can load your hamstrings and glutes quite a bit. And that's great if we're doing things like deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts or any variation where we're trying to load the back of the legs. So even in something like a dumbbell row, for instance, we're still getting you in a good hip hinge position as we pull and row. Or if we're doing a Romanian deadlift, same exact thing. Immobilizing the spine allows us to use our glutes and hamstrings a lot, and immobilizing the knee, again, it takes tension out of the quads and allows us to, again, load the back of the legs.